Welcome back. Now we're going to be turning our spotlight to the planned salary increase for political office holders in Nigeria. Now we know that the federal government, through the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission, has proposed a salary increase for political office holders, arguing that their pay has not been reviewed since 2008. And this has sparked a lot of debate and concerns about priorities and the whole idea of increasing salaries of political office holders. Now joining us this morning via Zoom is Comrade Ibokwe Chukwuma Ibokwe. He is the Deputy Secretary General, Association of Senior Civil Servants of Nigeria. Good morning, and thank you so much for joining us on Signature Morning.
Good morning, and thank you for having me. Good morning, viewers.
All right. Now, first of all, I'd like to know how do you view this? How do you view this proposal of increase? Mr. Comrade Ibokwe, can you hear me? I was asking, how do you view this proposal of, increase of salaries for political office holders? What's your take on that?
Well, like a normal increase in salary, we are not against probably increasing salary when there is need for that. But we're also saying that what is good for the geese is good for the gander. Now, there is a proposal for increment of the salaries of political office holder. The first thing is, let's look at, we make an analysis of what is it they are taking now compared to what the civil servants are taking or other workers are taking. It is when you look at it, then you will now know whether it is justifiable for you to, embark on such an increment. Because be it as it may, we all go to the same market. We all live in the same environment. All the factors that they are going to elucidate as the reason for increasing their jumbo salaries are also the same thing that workers are passing through. So we cannot be looking at where it is difficult for some states to pay 70,000 naira to a worker as minimum wage, and somebody is going to move a salary of somebody who is already on hundreds of thousands or above 1 million, you are now want to take it up again. So definitely our reaction is that we have registered our complaint and that we are watching the process. You must take them together so that when you are increasing their own, you should also increase that of the regular civil workers, because we go to the same market, just like I said. So we are not saying if it is justifiable that the increase will take place, then let's put them together. Let's put that of average civil servant and let's put that of a political office holder. And let's see the margin. Let's see the difference. And let's see, because you have a case where a civil servant that worked for probably 30 years is still earning a salary last week. You give the person a salary of over 500,000. And at the end of the day, you are now trying to justify the increase. We also look at the component of this political office holders. Maybe you gave somebody PA, you gave somebody a gardener, you gave somebody a driver, you gave all manner of domestic servants. While a director in the civil service is battling with just maybe 1 or 2 domestic servants. So these are the issues that we as labor, we are watching. We have started the process. We are following the process. And we are also speaking in our own way that this increase, we have to look at it very well and also compare it with what workers are taking presently.
All right. Now, just like you've mentioned, what workers are taking currently. I mean, the minimum wage now is about 70,000 naira. And, just like you said, we all go to the same market. We know that this money cannot even sustain family in today's, inflation-driven economy. But why do you think that these politicians' salaries are being considered for review instead of, the pay of civil servants and other, ordinary Nigerians who are also working and are earning money as well? Why do you think that their politician salaries are giving more, attention?
The question is, why do people go into politics? Are they really going there to serve? Well, in Nigeria, we have seen politics as the most lucrative enterprise. Politics is the place you can be poor, you can be nobody today. You don't have any money today, but tomorrow you are appointed, and the next 3 months, boom, you are a big man. You have all the resources. So the issue is that the politicians are also looking for more money. They are looking for more money because that's why they are there. They are there because they want money, not to serve. So it's them. These are policy makers. So they are also in making policy. It's not only this one they are talking of increment. There are other allowances they are taking, and there are other provisions they have made for themselves that even more than salary.
Interrupt you, but please,
because when you tell you an average,
so that we can get your frame properly, please.
Okay. Are you getting it now?
Kindly. All right. Thank you so much for that. Please, you can continue with what you were saying. Go ahead.
Okay.
Yes,
there are so many other provisions the political office holders have made for themselves, just for them to have enough money to live big. Like I said earlier, the richest set of people in this country, they are politicians. After spending 4 years, 8 years in office, when you go there without even any dime, but after spending 8 years, you come out as a very rich and wealthy person. So that is the justification for them, because they are feeling that they need more. Maybe they believe now that they feel they need to add more to the one they are taking, without considering when it's time for civil servants or workers, increment of workers' salary. We have to fight for it. We have to protest. We have to go on strike. We have to demonstrate. We have to give reasons. They have to set committee. They have to set another committee to see how they can bring it down. They will start giving you the logic there that we have organized private sector. But when it comes to political office holders' salary, you don't need to set any committee. The Revenue Mobilization and Fiscal Commission will just moot it and assign it the way it pleases them, because all of them are beneficiaries, including the Revenue Mobilization and Fiscal Commission. They're also beneficiaries. So it is a selfish act as far as I'm concerned, because with the sacrifice we have made, we proposed 200 and something, over 200,000 for minimum wage. And because of explanation here and there, we made sacrifice and got down to 70,000. So I think at this time, political office holders also looking at the economy should also remain where they are. And they make sacrifice the way workers have made sacrifice to come down to 70. Because I can assure you, there is no political office holder that his salary there is less than 500,000 and above, up to above 1 million. So they should make sacrifice. Let them make sacrifice the way workers have made sacrifice and accepted 70. Otherwise, if you are thinking of increasing it, then we should look for a living wage. We should go on a living wage for an average worker in this country, something in the neighborhood of 300,000-400,000. Like I said, we are in the same environment. Whatever reason they are going to give for their own increase is the same reason that they should be giving also for increasing from 70,000 naira minimum wage and to above that.
All right. Now it's quite interesting, when you mentioned how most of these politicians earn about 3-4 million naira. Because what is in the report, it says that the president earns about 1.5 million in a month, and other political office holders earn less than 1 million. So now, this has led to some belief that most of these salaries and allowances lack some form of transparency as to what exactly that they earn. So do you think that there should be some form of comprehensive review of the hidden perks, that politicians enjoy aside from their salaries before even talking about giving them a raise from what they are currently earning?
Well, let me say here that it's not just about the salary. It's not like when you come, you tell me a governor is earning less than 1 million. What does that mean? What if a governor is earning less than 1 million, a governor has security vote of close to 500 million or 1 billion? So, well, how do you look at it? And you are telling me probably a president is earning 1 point something million, but you look at other legis, you look at other provisions which civil servants don't enjoy. Civil servants get just their salaries, and that's all. But I'm telling you, somebody is earning a salary, you will never know when the salary entered the account or not, because it has other provisions. Other provisions in the office. Somebody's impressed to run an office as a political office holder can be his salary 5 times in a month. So he doesn't even need to take the salary. You're talking there are provisions, there are allowances. There are jumbo allowances, there are extra codes, traveling here and there, making enough money, and you are now coming back to salary. We are saying that it's not about the salary. The political office holders has other things that, around them in budgets, provision made for them in various offices that is don't even, start mentioning of salary. Which governor will be talking about his salary? What does governor need to talk about salary of 1 point something million when he has not finished a security vote of over 600, 700, 800 million, and he'll be talking of a salary of 1 million? Apart from the other provisions in government house for food, for this, for that. So that's what we are talking about. We're talking about that these people have other ways they are making enough money to sustain themselves, things that are which workers like civil servants are not opportune to have. So in fact, by those provisions, I'm even thinking that they should even forfeit their salaries, because what they are getting from their offices, what are things, allowances, provisions that attach their offices is 10 times more than their monthly salary. So by that alone, they should even forfeit their salary and go on with the allowances. Talk of legislators. What is the sitting allowance for a sitting? By the time you sit 3 times, in fact, one sitting in a day is more than the salary of a level 16 officer in the state. One sitting of a day can be less than a salary of a level 14 or 15, 16 officer in the state. Okay, the person sits for 3 days in a week. Calculate it. That means in 3 days sitting, he has taken a salary of a director in the state, something that's more than the salary of a director in the state. That is not his salary. That is not his transport provision. That is not that he have fuel to fuel his car. It does not that he have a driver that the government is paying, and other provisions made for them. But from that small 70,000 or 100 and something thousand, it is from there that the civil servant transport himself, come to work for how many days in a month, feed in the office, at the end, what is left? So we cannot be even talking about the provisions. What they have around them is more than the salary by 10 times. So they don't need issue of this review of salary. By now, if they are really serving, I think they should be forfeiting their salary for this economy to move forward.
So, Comrade Ibokwe, are you, in other words, saying that there should be more focus on cutting their costs rather than increasing their salaries? You're saying that their cost of what they spend should be cut down?
Beautiful. And that is the attraction. I can assure you the attraction to go to legislative house or to even be appointed in the state affairs is not the salary. Everybody knows the salary. The attraction is what is attached to it. When you appoint you make an appointment, even at state and federal level, immediately you do the appointment, you start preparing their furniture, their whatever that runs into millions. Civil servants don't get that. What they pay them at the beginning runs into a million. After another 4 years, they will still pay the money to change their furniture, do this. In fact, if you reappoint the man again, you still pay him again. You provide vehicle for him. These are the things you should be looking at, not a salary of, say, he's earning 500,000. What are you doing with it? Is he even aware? Is he even aware when the salary enters the account? No. He has other provisions around him. That is the attraction of political office. If every political office holder is restricted to his or her salary, people will not want to go. People will not want to go. Because let me tell you, we had a situation where a man that trained the son for how many years? And the man has been working for close to 28 to 30 years. Only for this boy to come out from university, appointed an SA, and started taking a salary that is more than the salary of the father 3 times. Tell me, if that in this kind of issue, apart from other things around him, how would the man will feel bad? So we just cannot be talking about the review of political office holders' salary at this stage. This is the time they say we need to make sacrifice. They say there are strong decisions and we have to endure. In this enduring state, which the workers have demonstrated by coming down to 70 from 200, and political office holders should show more concern for the growth and development of this country.
Now, I mean, just like you've said, what these politicians are earning is, contrast hugely compared to what civil servants are earning. Now, how do you reconcile the government's willingness to review politicians' pay while civil servants continue to struggle? Because although there have been a lot of reactions to this review and this proposal is still going on. So how do you reconcile that the government is willing to increase these salaries while, civil servants are still struggling?
That's why I say slavery. It's selfishness. It's selfishness. Because if we claim to be patriotic, this is not the time to be talking of review of political office holders' salary. It's selfishness. It shows you are not patriotic to this country. It shows that you want to impoverish the workers. It shows that civil servants are not stakeholders. Because what they are trying to do now is that stakeholders want to beef up their income so that their spending pattern can also go up. They will tell you, what are they going to list now? They will tell you cost of fuel. They will tell you tariff in electricity. They will tell you cost of things in the market. And is it not the same thing that workers are passing through? Is it not the same thing? At the end of the day, workers are managing. Even some states are still finding it very difficult to pay that 70,000. Even in the 70,000 naira minimum wage, the consequential adjustment was not done by so many states. You ended up adding to 2,000 naira or 5,000 naira to a civil servant in the salary as increment. And when they do their own salary now, it goes by percentage. I hope we are aware. They use percentage to increase their own. But when it comes to salaries of workers, they will add 10,000 or add 40,000. But their own now, they will come and tell you this basic will increase by 50%. So if the basic was 200 before, they'll move it to 400. Now they will tell you their domestic servant allowance will now be 100% of that basic. They will tell you wardrobe allowance will now be 80%. By the time you finish the calculation, somebody that was earning like 500 and now will arrive at maybe 1.5 million. Look at the margin. You now look at the margin of increase. Over 100 to 200% increase in salary. But when it comes to worker salary, to move it to 30%, 20%, we need to fight. We need to demonstrate. We need to go on strike. And even when it is signed, you need to also protest again for it to be implemented. When even is a law, you need also to fight for it to be, implemented in some states. So there is no justification for that. I can't reconcile it.
Now, this whole increment idea, of course, seeing how much civil servants are earning, of course, it has some effects, particularly when it comes to productivity in the civil service. Now, how would you say that this pay disparity affects civil servants' morale and productivity, in their workplaces and, going about their daily activities? How does it affect their morale and productivity in the civil service?
Greatly. What we are having, the situation we are having in the public service now is the part of it is this increment, jumbo salaries for political office holders. For instance, in a ministry where you have let me come down to state, where you are. You have a commissioner. You have the commissioner, also one commissioner in that ministry. By the time you have a commissioner, then you now have a permanent secretary. These are people that are graded as political because permanent secretaryship is now political. It's no longer like before. It's now political. Anybody can be appointed. It can be zoned, unlike before, where it is done by merit. Now, you see that the next person to the permanent secretary after the commissioner is the director. Then now see a director, and let me also tell you that commissioner that came to that ministry just came as a politician. He may not know anything about, he may not have the grab knowledge of the workings of that ministry. So any letter mail that comes, he minutes it down to the PAMSEC, who will minute it to the director. Directors, professionals of different departments are the ones that will treat this mail, bring up a report, bring up the results, and just for initial commissioner or PAMSEC to sign. Then at the end of the day, this man that you call a director is going home with less than 200,000. And then commissioner, permanent secretary is going home with jumbo salary. That man will always grumble. He will always grumble. Because what we have also asked is that let us have a relativity. Let us have a relativity. Yes, if you say political office holders should be taking more than civil servants, but let's have relativity. Let's have closeness. Not that one person's salary as a political office holder can pay a full department up to 20 staff in the ministry. It is not fair. Why do we even have Revenue Mobilization and Fiscal Commission? Everybody is working. Why can't we do it, put it on salary grade level? It's because we are seeing politics as where to make quick money. What stopped president from being on level 17 or grade level 19 or level 20? Put him on a salary, but let him have special allowance as a president. Put governor on a salary scale. If you like, we have the highest we have now is level 17. If you like, give him level 18 or level, take it up to 20. But they can have special allowances of a president, special allowances of a governor, special allowances of honorable members and senators. Then that will be very clear for everybody to see. Don't create what you call appetite by having a different commission that will be fixing salaries and wages of political office holder, while you have another one separate for civil. Are we not all working for the same government? Is it not the same government? By the way, who is the engine room of the government? Is it not the civil servant? No matter how beautiful the policy you have, who will implement it?
I should end this one.
No matter the beautiful policy you come up with, who will implement it? Is it the public servant that will carry it out? It has to go through the ministry, through the ministry down to the relevant agencies, parastatals. You can't do water policies without water corporation, no matter how beautiful your water policy is. By the way, who generate these policies? In the process of budgeting, how is it done? Is it not the same from ministry that budgets are generated? Is it not the same civil servant that gather these things and then take it to the commissioner will now go with other officers to go and defend it in assembly, whether federal or state. And then when you come to payment of salary, you now have a different commission so that you can easily fix your own there.
All right,
so
thank
it is
you
very,
so
very
much, Comrade Ibokwe, Chukwuma Ibokwe, for your time on this conversation. I mean, we look forward to seeing, how this will play out and if this proposal will, go through. But, we hope for positive results. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. I don't know the positive result here, but all I know is that we are not happy with that, and we are going to show that we are not happy with that.
Exactly. But the positive result will be either, reviewing the civil servant salary as well, or putting a stop to the review of the politician's salary. Either way,
not using the review. Not when you add 1 naira to civil servant, you justify it and go and add 2 million naira to political officer. That would not accept that.
Exactly. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Save Nature TV, news in your pocket.